You're watching Football Daily, and here are this week's biggest transfer news and headlines. With January less than a month away and a number of top clubs contending with a packed winter schedule, we're expecting a lot of activity in the upcoming window. So if you've heard anything yourself, get discussing in the comments below. Anyway, let's get straight into it. We begin this week's episode at Chelsea because while the Blues look to have sorted their defensive woes with the signings of Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva and Edouard Mendy, who has now kept more clean sheets than any other Premier League keeper this season, reports suggest they are ready to add more quality to their back line. Last week, Bild reported that the London club were preparing to start talks with David Alaba, with Christian Falk noting that their close relationship with Alaba's agent Pini Zahavi, who helped Roman Abramovich acquire the club back in 2003, puts them in an advantageous position compared with other suitors like Real Madrid, Juventus and PSG. And with it now looking almost certain that the defender will leave the Allianz next summer after contract negotiations broke down between the player and club, Chelsea will be free to broker a pre-contract agreement in January, and according to AS, are in pole position to sign him. Apparently, Frank Lampard is very keen on getting the two-time Champions League winner to Stamford Bridge, while Marina Granovskaya, who succeeded in securing all of the club's top targets in the summer, is said to be readying an offer which will pip Chelsea's rivals to Alaba's signature. But where Alaba would fit is another question. It's unlikely that Chilwell will be moved from the left-back slot, and so the 28-year-old may be used as a utility man across the back line if he makes the move to the Premier League outfit. We'll no doubt be hearing a lot more about the Austrian international in the next few weeks, so keep a lookout. Now for a player who could be on his way out of Stamford Bridge, as speculation surrounding the future of Olivier Giroud is growing by the day. The French striker, who has been strongly linked with the move away from Chelsea for the last 12 months, has expressed his dissatisfaction at his lack of playing time this season in recent weeks, having racked up less than 100 minutes of Prem and Champions League action. Last week we ran through the plethora of clubs who may be interested in taking the veteran on, with PSG, Spurs and even David Beckham's Inter Miami linked with his signature. However, while French publication Les 10 Sport have suggested Giroud could sign a new contract at Stamford Bridge, Italian outlet Tuttosport are reporting that Inter Milan remain interested in the 34-year-old, who looked set to join the Nerazzurri earlier this year. The Serie A giants apparently want to negotiate a 6-month contract with an option to buy, although considering his contract runs out next June, we're not sure how this deal would work logistically. Nevertheless, Antonio Conte is still said to be keen on the former Arsenal striker, who he sees as an ideal backup to Romelu Lukaku, although Napoli outcast Arkadiusz Milik is also on the club's radar. With manager Frank Lampard keen for him to stay in London, it's very much up to Giroud where his future lies. But what would you do if you were him? Let us know in the comments. Man United may have decided against signing a new centre-back in the summer, but speculation is growing that a defender is the next position on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's list, and according to online publication Team Talk, the Red Devils are putting together a plan to secure Pau Torres from Villarreal. However, with the young Spaniard valued at around £50 million and his club understood to be holding out for his release clause of £60 million, United are apparently keen to use a makeweight to make any deal happen, and in this instance that would be former Villarreal man Eric Bailly. Rated as one of Europe's best young defenders when he swapped La Liga for the Premier League back in 2016, a combination of injuries and inconsistent form has meant Bailly has never become the regular starter many thought he would at Old Trafford. And with the United squad stacked with a number of players in his position, many of whom don't have the full trust of Solskjaer, using one of them as part of a deal for Torres would make some sense. However, he would likely face competition for the 23-year-old signature, with Tottenham also currently linked with the defender. And with Bailly's contract in Manchester running out in 2022, it's questionable as to how much of a discount the club would be able to get by including him in the negotiations. And Torres isn't the only La Liga star being linked with a move to Old Trafford. According to Mundo Deportivo, the English giants may be ready to rekindle their interest in Barcelona forward Ousmane Dembele, who also only has 18 months left to run on his contract. However, if Barcelona, as reported, are not willing to sell for under €70 million, we can see this one falling flat once again. Before we move on to our headline story, a reminder to subscribe to Football Daily and hit the notification bell so you never miss another great video like this one when it drops. It's no secret that Premier League champions Liverpool have been dealt a poor hand with injuries in their defence this season, with Virgil van Dijk not expected back until April and Joe Gomez due to miss the entire season. So naturally there's been a lot of talk in recent weeks as to how Jurgen Jurgen Klopp can reinforce his back line, and while there's been no official word from the Anfield camp as to what the plan is for the January transfer window, Dutch journalist Mike Verweij has suggested the club may go in for Ajax youngster Perr Schurrs. Schurrs, who only turned 21 last week, has impressed as a regular fixture in Ajax's first team this season, having only made 7 league starts for them in 2019-20. In fact, the centre-back has played more Eredivisie minutes this term than any other outfield player at the Johan Cruyff Arena, and has also impressed against Liverpool in the Champions League. And yet, the Dutch Giants could be willing to part ways for him in the winter window. According to Verweij, Liverpool have been told they can sign the highly rated prospect if they can stump up a £27 million fee, which doesn't seem particularly high for one of Europe's most promising defenders in a winter window. Some analysts have noted that his less than excellent record in aerial duels could put off the Liverpool hierarchy from following through, but Schurrs still represents both the short-term fix for their lack of depth in defence and is also a solid investment in the long term. But Liverpool fans, we want to hear from you. Is Schurrs the answer to your club's injury problems, and if not, who would you sign instead? Let us know in the comments below. Another club in the midst of an injury crisis is Barcelona. While Blaugrana fans will be buoyed by the fact that Clement Lenglet's ankle injury, which forced him off the pitch against Osasuna on the weekend, is not as serious as first thought, they are still missing Gerard Piqué until February, while Ronald Araujo and Samuel Umtiti remain sidelined. This has left the Frenchman and the inexperienced Oscar Mingueza, who was only recently promoted from the B team, as the club's only centre-back options. And according to Portuguese outlet O Jogo, the Catalan club are considering bringing Jean-Claude Todibo back from his loan with Benfica. However, the French defender hasn't even made an appearance for the Lisbon outfit, having been out with an Achilles injury since October. Right now, it doesn't look like the former Toulouse man is the answer to Ronald Koeman's problems. Meanwhile, Mundo Deportivo have reported that Samuel Umtiti could leave the club in January, with Everton apparently weighing up a move for the World Cup winner. Manager Carlo Ancelotti is reportedly keen on bringing the defender to Goodison Park, although concerns over his poor fitness record will no doubt be assessed further down the line. But as one of the highest paid players at the camp now, Barca are apparently keen to get him off the wage bill. We finish off this week at Newcastle after the Northern Echo reported that Steve Bruce will be limited to making loan signings this January. And one of the players most hotly tipped to make a temporary switch to St James's Park is Chelsea centre-back Fikayo Tomori. The 22-year-old is yet to start a league game this term and hasn't even featured for the Blues since the end of September, with Frank Lampard not including him in the squad at all for the last 5 games, meaning he's made just 2 league appearances since February. Tomori rejected a loan move to West Ham at the end of the last window, but having fallen so far down the pecking order may well be tempted by the opportunity of first-team football in the North East. Meanwhile, the Blues have apparently indicated that the youngster will be available once the window reopens, so the Magpies may well face competition for his signature. Whatever happens, we're keen to see the England international get some much-needed minutes in the near future. So that's all we have time for on this week's Transfer Talk, but what did you make of the rumours this week? Get discussing in the comments below and we'll do our best to reply. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave us a like, and why not stick around on Football Daily by clicking on screen right now or checking out one of our other series like Sunday Vibes, where we discuss all the hottest topics in football, or Winners and Losers, where we round up the weekend's action. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.